30 that I'm in charge of over in my office, so I do have to hustle back, but just want to come over and say thanks. I know next week is Bus Driver Appreciation Week, and I think we've got some school staff and our staff planning some things for you. So, updates, bond. You guys get to see quite a bit, probably 2/3 of all the bond work going on. And isn't it amazing how fast things are moving? Walls are going up and holes are being dug and so forth. So this Performing Arts Center on the corner, it is going to be quite a space. They are going to have to build the structure, the frame around the pool before they dig the pool, because the structure is so large. So it'll take 3 cranes to put see, they're not joists, but put the caps on. So when that gets started, that's going to be pretty amazing to watch. The schools are still on track to be turned over to us in June of next summer, so we can start moving everything in and getting them outfitted and ready to go for the next school year. So those are the big projects, of course. So any quick questions I could answer for you before I have to take off and run again? Yes, ma'am.
Are they still letting kids go from remote to back to school, or is there like a stopping point on that for the 9 weeks, or how's that?
So we've slowed it down a lot. What we're struggling with is, well, what we've done at this point is kind of require them to go through a series of questions to find out even if that transition is going to be helpful for them as far as the classes that are offered in each environment and so forth. But our concern is, if we recognize that a student isn't successful in one environment or the other, and we have another option for them, saying no is a hard thing to do. But it's also very hard for our teachers to take on new students in the middle of a quarter and those kinds of things too. So sometimes it's not beneficial. But we are expecting a larger influx of students coming back to school than the ones that are going out at quarter. It also depends on what kind of transition we make. Again, if you were listening to the board meeting, you know that one of the options we're looking at for secondary schools is all secondary kids, half of them in the morning and half of them in the afternoon. So they would get every day for half a day. So then they get to see their teachers get to see them every single day, even though it's only half a day. Puts a lot of pressure on this group of folks next year. And I know Richard and Beth are working on schedules as I walk out the door to see how those schedules can be structured for those schools, and they can be structured so we can get kids to and from. And some of them we may just have to change who gets to ride and when. So maybe in particular, we're evaluating which kids get the afternoon schedule. Is it the kids that are in activities? Is it the kids that just get out of bed harder than other kids? You know what? We don't know what those options will be.
How will that work with, like, my pair on my bus does food service during the daytime. If you went to a half-day schedule, there's some of us, some people that won't be able to do that.
Yeah, we're aware. We're trying to work through all of the little details that...
We'll talk about some of those options here in a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Any other burning questions?
Do you think the kids will start riding more on the bus later on?
I don't know. You know, we've cut them back quite a bit. What we'll allow, which neighborhoods we're picking up. And,
Well, like the high school, I only got like 4 or 5.
well, but if I said earlier, one option is every kid for half a day. We may also go back to normal school. We may also go back and say the normal block schedule at the high school, the normal 7-period day, start to finish, like we did all of the years before. If we do that, I would suspect kids that are attending school now, we would have more of them decide to go remote. Right now, I think we have kids that attend school, their parents send them because we've got less density in our buildings. Our procedures are pretty good, and so I think they feel safe. But if we get more kids in the classrooms, they may say, I'd rather go home. Because we've been practicing, and those secondary kids have been practicing learning remotely. Most of them I don't think like it very well, but some are managing. So we're trying to project
Just
that
seems
past
a
that
waste, a
question.
big bus, and you only got like 5.
Yeah. Yeah, and then some others are jam-packed, especially the little ones. Good, Kathy? Say, I don't want to take up too much of your time, and I don't want to keep my folks waiting either. Sorry I can't spend much more time. I know you've got other things to do as well today, but if you do have burning questions you don't want to ask in front of everybody, ask Kathy, and she can forward those on to Richard or I. One more burning question in the back.
No question, just want to tell you I appreciate you.
Oh, well.
From March to now, keeping us informed, I mean, it was pretty good to watch, and every email you guys sent out was very informative, so I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, I appreciate it. We've really, some of you have probably seen some of the dialogue on social media. I haven't seen it, I get told about it, I don't go there, but really our folks have been incredibly supportive. Our staff has been appreciative. It's hard, things aren't going the way they always want them to go. We don't like masks, we don't like 2 meetings in one day, those kinds of things, but I appreciate everybody's support and patience, grace, and we're trying to offer it back as well. So, thank you for saying that.
Yes, sir.
All right, have a great day, guys.
Thank you.
Chris, what did you do with my slide? There we go. Complete High, Mace High, and Mary's Career Academy provided our breakfast that's on its way. So it'll be here any minute. When it gets here, we'll take a quick break. We'll just let you grab what you need, what you want, and then we'll scoot back and we'll keep moving along, okay? October. Halfway through the month, we've had a couple of birthdays. We got a couple more coming. Chris's birthday is tomorrow, so if you want to trash his office, I'll point you in that direction.
Put his phone up in the roof again.
Got some birthdays next month. All right, so Thanksgiving break or fall break, whatever you want to call it. Mays, everybody is out the 25th, 26th, and 27th. As far as I know, and I have not double checked, so if you drive for somebody other than Mays, one of our Mays schools, you'll need to double check, but I'm pretty sure that everybody else has that whole week off because everybody started on time but us. So, but double check before you take my word for it. Safety meeting, oh, I did not get that changed. What in the world did I do? Safety meetings are always on the 15th. Matter of fact, I think this is good. Just ignore this calendar. Okay. It's been a crazy week, a month for all of us. Driver and para of the month. We're going to go back to that. Driver of the month, we're going to Tracy Case. Have a stand if you would, please. Congratulations, Tracy. I got to tell you, it was a really hard decision to do a driver and para of the month because so many of you have done so much to help us out. But Tracy, Kelly, I think you are the only 2 that we've taken routes completely from, right? We had a lot of routes like last week and the week before that consolidated for a short amount of time and then we were able to go back. But we really appreciate everything you guys have put up with us. We are about consolidated as much as we can. I think we can do one more consolidation at South. But before we even get to that point, we're going to have to start looking at other options, whether we run 2 tier 2s or something like that, because what we're doing is just causing chaos with you guys in the schools. So like Dr. Higgins said, we're just going to have to go to another alternative, whether it's 2 tiers, whether we do half-day schools, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit, whatever that case may look like. Para of the month, Madeline. She'll probably be here this afternoon. Those of you that don't know Maddie, she goes by Maddie. She is our new para. She rides on 1, 2, 3, 4? Yes. With Pam. She used to be a crossing guard for us over here by Vermilion. She's a WSU student, I think. Is that right, Matthew? So she just works for us when she's not in school. She's doing a really, really good job. So front row parking for Tracy and Maddie. Okay. Before we get into this fun federal stuff, got a couple of service awards that came in. For those of you that were here for our first meeting, we gave out our perfect attendance awards and our service awards that they gave us over the summer. And we have a couple more that came in that we had inquired about that we hadn't received yet. So if you would, Paul Goodwin has been here for 5 years. Dorothy Shepard has been here for 5. She'll be here this afternoon. She's not in this one. Joy Shumway has been here for 5. You go, girl. Congratulations. Thank you. Amy Skaya has been here for 5. I saw her. Thank you for your service. Mike Skaya, can it be his? You guys must have come at the same time. 5 years for Mike. Shortly. Kelly Stivers will be here this afternoon. She's been here for 5. Jason Thomas is a para for us. He's been here for 5. Dave Marshall, he's been here for 10. Thank you for your service.
No.
Dana has been here for 15 years. Oh, she'll be here this afternoon. And Karen, I think will be here this afternoon. Is Karen?
Deb,
Nope.
you got a pen?
Karen, where?
You can't find it.
Oh, Karen's been here for 10. So thank you guys all for your service. All right. Yeah. Federal motor carrier. Oops, I got the wrong one. This form here, your guys,
The third one,
they're handing them out. Deb's making her way around.
the same thing.
I thought I had mine, but I don't. It looks like a permission slip, and it's exactly what it is. In order, Mays employs CDL drivers. Everybody that employs a CDL driver has to give these to our CDL drivers for you to sign off on. When you guys all started, you had to sign a form that you said you understand that you are part of the federal drug and alcohol testing random drawings. Everybody remembers all those years ago when you signed off on those. The federal government is finally getting to the point where they're getting ready to shift all that to electronics. And in order to do that, they have to have your written permission that they can do your drug and alcohol testing through a main database. The kicker of it is, if you do not sign this paper, you do not work. You cannot use your CDL. So if you refuse to sign it, understand that this will be your last year driving a bus, a CDL bus, because this is by the federal government. If something happens and we do a drug and alcohol test on you and it flags something, you guys remember last year when we was talking about you had to get online and fill it out, but it was optional, it was if you were going to go somewhere else and they had to pull your drug testing? If you get flagged for some reason on your test, on your drug test, you will have to go online and give us electronic permission to access your database. This is written permission. Once it's done electronically, the federal government can now start seeing it and they can start getting all the testing in there. The goal is when we hire someone new, we have to send paperwork to your previous employer if you drove a CDL, and we have to get your drug results from them. By law, we have to do it to make sure that we're not hiring people that have been drinking and driving and all that sort. Everybody has to do it, not just us because we're a school district. Now it'll all be done online. So all we got to do is punch in someone's driver's license number and it'll automatically pull up instead of waiting a week to 6 weeks to get that data back. The downside is the starting process is very painful. So this is the starting process. So I just need everybody to sign it. All it says is that you give us permission to do the drug and alcohol testing. Same thing we've always done. It's just written on a different form now for the federal government, and it gets stuck in your file. Okay? Any questions on this? Everybody understands that without this, you cannot drive a CDL bus. Okay. The co-op is hiring paras. If you are interested in being a para in the school, I already work 6 or 8 hours for the transportation department. I can't work over there. They have authorized you to get overtime. It comes out of their pay, not ours. If you want some extra hours, even if it pushes you into overtime, especially now with the holidays coming, they are hiring. I think it's 11.25 starting wages. You'll probably get a little more because you guys are already in the school system. I don't know that for sure. But if you're interested, get a hold of Christy Skelton. You can write her number down. We can give it to you later, whatever the case may be. They're just as desperate as for paras as we are for drivers and paras here. So if you are interested, make sure you give her a call. Deronda! Oh, and she's gone. Where'd she go? Can you go holler at Duke, please? Deronda's going to talk to you a little bit about maps. Deborah, you get a sandwich? Anybody missing a sandwich? We need a sandwich over there.
We don't have any more.
Are you kidding? We'll get you some. Are you sure? Okay, we got one here. Your turn, Deronda. You wanted the maps and stuff?
Some of them might like it. Is this one mine too?
Yeah, you told me to put it in there, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, I got it. What am I doing? Okay, this is a Chromebook case. If you, when we call you and say, do you guys have a Chromebook on your bus? These are what they usually are in. It's not guaranteed that it'll always